to Teatime and Tarot. It is another week, and we are on day 20 of the daily vlogs. These are daily tarot readings that I'm posting Mondays through Fridays. So if you'd like to journal along, follow along, just check in throughout the week or catch up and view all of the videos for the week on the weekends. You're completely welcome to do so. I'm grateful for your attention. I know your time and attention is valuable, so thank you for that. Also, if you want to subscribe and like, you'll be notified in your subscriptions when each new video is posted. So we're going to see what the cards have to say for today. And these are a general reading. It's not for any specific person or sign, placement, or anything like that. It's just a shuffle to see what the cards bring up for us to consider today as we're going about doing the things that we need to do. I'm a bit resistant to chat today. Ooh, okay. 10 of Cups, happiness, fulfillment, wellness, well-being. What fulfills you? What makes you feel good? Last week, I had, Queen of Wands is back today, so Queen of Wands is still very much in play. And Temperance, all right, patience. I think last week we had some frustration with impatience over how things that you're working on or something specific that you're working on is developing. A little frustration over the imperfection of that scenario as well. Oh, but an offer is coming to you. All right. So with the 10 of Cups, that is about happiness, fulfillment, reminiscing over what sort of happiness and fulfillment you had in the past, maybe considering how you can return to that. I know last year, 2020, was a doozy of a year that maybe pulled everybody or possibly distracted you from your previous course of action. I know I certainly was looking to a lot of bold, grand, new, beautiful adventures opening up in 2020, and what I actually experienced was contraction and restriction and a deviation or a pause from the previous past. So now that we're well into the new year, we're approaching the end of January, it may be that after the turmoil and the tumult of the past year, and then especially the past several months, at least in America, a lot of collective issues and concerns and circumstances have been shifting around and changing. But now that we're past all of that and the big Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that happened, that is significant. That has the potential of what you focus on in the next year, certainly in the next 2 years, has the potential to set you up for what you're going to develop over the next 20 years. We had the new moon in Cancer, I believe, and now we're approaching the wolf moon in Leo. So a lot of things, and a Mercury retrograde coming up. Right now is a good time to sort of touch base with what it is that fulfills you, what makes you happy, what makes you feel comfortable and secure and safe and sort of in flow, in balance, and sort of resonant with how you're going about your day. Each day, every day. Last week was particularly that for me. I really enjoyed last week, even though I did have the frustration with imperfection and development and a bit of faltering. I still felt pretty comfortable, you know, in the space that even with the discomfort of the situation, I myself was sort of pleased at the progress, and being aware of that. I think doing the daily readings certainly helped with that because it made me more aware and kept my perspective in a healthy balance of awareness as well. And now we have Queen of Wands as well. That is being magnetic, being center stage, networking, being confident, secure in your principles and beliefs. And Wands, fire energy, is your passions, your desires, what it is you fight for, what it is that you go after in your actions. And Sophia is very confident and pleased with herself, holding that space. So she also garners a lot of attention. And she came up, I believe, several times last week in the readings that I did. So if you're not feeling like people are noticing what you're doing, the changes that you're making, what you're offering, what you'd like to share, looks like it has been noticed, especially coming out of this sense of wanting to reconnect with fulfillment and happiness and well-being on an emotional frequency as well. People have been noticing. They may not have said as much, but you're definitely coming into focus, your efforts are coming into focus for more than just yourself, for people outside of yourself. And then we have Temperance here, and that is the alchemy of the change, the space between what was and what will be, where the magic of the change happens. It's also about replenishing and renourishing, finding balance, consistency, and harmony with Temperance. So patience and equanimity with Temperance. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So that is a offer being brought forward to you. Knights are a signal of a call to action, a signal that action is being taken to move in the direction of an ambition. So especially if you're coming from this point of fulfillment, this point of being, it's also being at a point of generosity where you can then extend outward of yourself in order to contribute. So this could also be you bringing forward what you have to offer, what you have to contribute, and being confident and willing to be, it is also willing to be vulnerable and taking the action to make the offer. So a certain willingness of vulnerability and saying, hey, I have this, I would like to share it with this situation or this person or you. Would you like to receive it? So it's also a position of vulnerability within confidence. That's beautiful, beautiful card. And then at the bottom of the deck, oh yay, we have 10 of Pentacles. That is foundation. So still steadily, these are two tens. It's a point of establishment, a cycle of completion in certain respects that is going to open up onto a new cycle with this foundation grounding it as well, because this is Pentacles, it's coins, it's real life, home, work, money, family, health, the stuff in your actual reality. And 10 of Pentacles also suggests the determination and the steadfastness and the loyalty that you have embarked upon in order to grow something to this point of fruition. So it's also a point of when the 10 of Pentacles is happening, to take a moment to be grateful for how far you've come and all the work that you've already put in, bringing yourself into a state of gratitude, sincere gratitude and faith and trust that all of the efforts that you've put in have resulted in this. So the efforts that you bring forward from here will also result in greater growth and significance for your life and yourself and your community and your family. That will happen, but acknowledging that it's not going to happen quickly. It's not a snap of the fingers. This is a long-term establishment, which means it's going to be an enduring establishment. It's not a flash in the pan that's here today and gone tomorrow. This is building toward a solid future. And then at the top of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So time is turning, time has come, an opportunity is approaching, a blessing is about to be received, the wheel is turning. So pay attention to opportunity and the potential of connections that come up today and over the course of the week. What you say yes to is as equally significant as what you say no to. So you say yes to the things that you want to come into alignment and frequency with and you want to connect to. Say no to those things that you don't. It's a very important part of development, is what you consistently align yourself to connect to, and what you consistently deny in order to release or to reject it. So be aware of the choices that you're making and what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to, because something good is coming around the corner. And you want to make sure that you're in a state of receptivity to receive it, to fulfill these blessings. So what lies between the two? Lovers, commitment and conviction and unification within yourself and reciprocity and the nature of exchange. Giving something out with the Knight of Cups, extending something of yourself outwardly, out into the energy you want to connect with, so that then that energy can reciprocate. That's also present here in Temperance. You see the glasses that Rose is holding? That water is in flux and flow. So it's flowing back and forth, in and out, in exchange, and in current, sort of self-replenishing as well. So the nature of exchange and being aware of what you're giving, and then staying receptive to what you receive, and making sure you stay in alignment with those things that you want to foster growth within. Lovely. Wow, so a change is on the way this week. That Wolf Moon in Leo is this week. I'll talk about that more in another video probably, but it's significant. So good things on the horizon. Excellent. Let's clarify. The Ten of Cups. Okay, so Knight of Swords. A call to action. Do something now. So there's a something that cannot be put off. There's something that needs to be addressed, an action that needs to be taken, and with the swords, a decision that needs to be taken and then followed through on. As always with the Knight of Swords, because it is a very swift, supercharged energy, do a double check around the perimeter just to make sure you're not going to do any collateral damage or break off the potential of something you want to foster. But this is actually a call to action to do something now, make a decision now about where you want to head, to restore or to encourage or to, sustain the feeling of well-being and happiness that you have or that you want to create. Okay, let's clarify the Queen of Wands. So with the Ten of Cups as well, it's sort of a sign that sort of the collective is in a state of reciprocity. So it's not just the individual, it's the environment is open to give and receive as well. So circumstances are in your favor. That may be why the call to action with the call to decision with the Knight of Swords is happening there. Temperance is also the card of Sagittarius, I believe, so it may be helpful to speak to a Sagittarius if you have one in your acquaintance. They may have something interesting or fascinating to add to whatever it is that you're contemplating this week. Clarifying the Queen of Wands is the Five of Swords. Don't get stuck in your head. Stay out of your own way. The Knight of Swords has taken decision and is swiftly acting upon it. The Five of Swords sort of just won a Pyrrhic battle. So when this one comes up, it's a point of conflict or adversity, but it's within yourself, within your own thoughts and perceptions. So don't get stuck in your own thoughts, in your own head, and what's happening there, ignoring what's happening in the environment around you with the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, because things are good. Things are good outside. But if you get, right under the Ten of Cups, we had the Nine of Swords. So there's some fear, there's some uncertainty, some insecurity. That's all happening in your thoughts, in the story that you're telling yourself. All of this fear or anxiety, that's not anything that's happening outside of you, that's happening within you. So once you get out of your own way and you sort of acknowledge that, hey, I'm sort of sabotaging myself in this situation, I'm sort of getting in my own way, getting in my own thoughts, and resistance is rising up within me. Reconnect with the Queen of Wands, tap into that magnetism, talk to somebody, and talk about what you want to generate, what you want to support, what you want to foster, what the development is, what your hope for it is in the future. That's the vulnerability within confidence with the Knight of Cups here. Bring it forward, show it to someone to get you out of that resistance in your thoughts, and remagnetize with the Queen of Wands. And then with Temperance, with the patience that's required, that you may be feeling in this sort of self-defeated, inner resistance space because things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like them to, or you thought that you'd at least have some sort of a result by this point. But Pentacles manifestation, the coins, the real life stuff, it takes time to develop, and you have to allow for the time and space for that to happen with Temperance while maintaining balance, but staying true to your own path with the Hermit. You have to have hope and faith that what you are generating, what the life that you would like to experience, the journey that you would like to embark upon, that's resonant within you, is valid, and you are worthy to embark upon it, that you are capable of handling it all along the way through all the stages of development, and staying open to hope and trusting that things are going to align when you follow through and put your effort in and focus your energies to what you're aligning with and what you're aligning away from. So, and it's also the card of Virgo, so it may be helpful to speak to a Virgo this week. And let's clarify, or speak to a Virgo today. Oh, too many. Too many. Knight of Cups, clarify for me, please. All these cards are trying to jump out on this Knight of Cups here. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, understanding how to establish and nurture and manage abundance, knowing what it takes to grow to a state of flourishing abundance, how to sustain it and maintain it and share it, understanding all the requirements of that and sitting in that seat of power of complete capability within that understanding is where this offer is heading to. So you are heading in the right direction, where you are willing to be confidently move in the direction of you want, with the vulnerability of being receptive to what is going to be returned to you, and willing to put something of significance of yourself into that exchange. At the bottom of the deck, we have Eight of Swords, so some fear and trepidation with the Eight of Swords informing that. That's partnering up with the Five of Swords here. Remember, this is swords again, so this is everything that's happening in your head, in your thoughts. So this is inner fears and your perception of your capability or your willingness to look at the things that you can address now. Could be a point of avoidance if you're disappointed or impatient, or you're at a point of the development where maybe you usually, you've tried before and you've come to a point where you had to abandon your course of development and go back into a state that you were not pleased with, that you just had to start over and move away from again. So if you're just at a point of development where you're reaching a stage that you haven't experienced before, there's some fear attached to that. There is, the quantity of the unknown attached to that. But you release yourself from that fear, recognize that you're entirely capable of handling and navigating and learning what needs to be done in order to resolve any issues or conflicts or challenges that come up, because eight's also a point of growth. So it's this particular card, it's a willingness to dedicate yourself to that growth even through fear, even through anxiety, even through trepidation. Okay? Oh, and at the top of the deck, you have the Seven of Wands again. This is very active last week. That little goat up there still looking at the bigger picture, still seeing things from the higher plane, still ignoring the haters, blocking out the haters and the little curious birds that are just all up in their business wondering what they're doing. The determined little goat up here is not concerned with what they're doing. The goat is concerned with what they're going to do next and holding the space that they've already achieved. So, what lies between the anxiety or fear or trepidation from moving forward and maintaining this higher ground that you've achieved is Queen of Cups, a return to self, return to your capability. Queen of Cups is understanding flow, understanding emotional resonance, understanding who she is, and gender doesn't matter, who she is, who he is, who they are. So the pronoun isn't necessarily female with the Queen of Cups. It's an energy, but it's an awareness of self, awareness of flow, awareness of how to allow things to develop and travel and replenish and expand in congruency, in a state of comfort, in a state of receptivity, and with a lack of any resistance that rises up due to fear. So, awareness of yourself and your own capabilities, and your understanding that you can flourish within any success or failure or challenge or obstacle, whatever it is, you know that you can handle it as long as you stay out of resistance and self-limiting belief. Okay, and let's see, the universe has your back. Let's see what that card says today. Oh, I put up the first of the journaling videos on Saturday. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that at the end of the video so you can check that out. I'm going to have to do multiple videos on that because I didn't realize how much stuff I had until I started doing that initial one. So look forward to more on that if you're interested in journaling with tarot, writing in tarot, or if you're just a stationary nerd like me and you like pens and notebooks and pretty paper stuff. I'll link that at the end if you're interested. And then we have, I am the loving energy of the universe. Okay, that is tapping into the Queen of Cups, actually, I believe, because it's a state of receptivity, and also with the Knight of Cups, a state of extension and expansion of yourself within the universe. So in congruency, it's also with temperance. It's being in the state of flux and flow and exchange and patience. Lovely. Okay, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you are looking forward to a beautiful week. It looks like it's going to be something else, something wonderful. Something good is going to happen this week. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.